Part racquetball and part breakout, C-Smash VRS, a VR remake of an obscure Japanese exclusive Dreamcast game, has you thumping bright balls around in a space station where the goal is to break the floating boards in front of you as quickly as possible. It sounds deceptively simple, but it's actually quite tricky and at times a lesson in anger management, patience and luck. The game's single player is split between two modes, Challenge and Zen, with the former being, well, a real challenge as any failure resets your progress, while Zen is a lot more forgiving and allows you to retry stages as often as you need. It's not really Zen, but more akin to a traditional easy mode, and yes, that's where I spent most of my single player time. There's multiplayer too, with several game modes that will no doubt be responsible for the game's longevity, assuming C-Smash VRS manages to keep an online audience. If you're not interested in online play, then C-Smash VRS doesn't have much for you. The two single player modes are fun, but the lack of variation found in the multiplayer means that you'll probably hit the wall far sooner than those who venture online. So back to anger management, patience and luck. I've played my fair share of VR sports games, and my go-to favourite is 11 Table Tennis VR, the peak physics simulation of a ball in a video game, in my opinion. So to go from the earthly trappings of table tennis to the lower and slower gravity of outer space was a trip, with the game's physics proving to be my downfall, though I can't take all the blame. You start each round with the ball floating in front of you, and then you start the game by pulling it towards you with L2. From there, it's a case of volleying the ball back at the floating tiles in an effort to hit them all before the ticking timer runs out. And be warned, even on Zen mode, you're still on the clock. While it no doubt feels great to take a big swing, I rarely felt that I had the fine, granular control needed to make the last second shots to clear the final tile and move to the next stage. I tried backhanders, overhead wallops, underarm volleys, and while they all worked, it just didn't feel quite right. For example, I'd want to send the ball to the top right corner, but it'd go swerving the other way. This wasn't with every shot, mind you, but I experienced it enough to get frustrated to the point of turning the air blue. There's also the way the ball moves in general. I'd smack it with what I consider to be a good amount of force, only for it to sometimes slowly bounce away in a meek and feeble manner, making a mockery of my race against the clock. On the other hand, when the ball is on its return, it could be bouncing low at knee height, only for its last bounce to send it shooting upwards. My frustrations with C-Smash VRS are many, but I'll give it credit where it's due. It's fun when you finally get into the swing of things and really get a good feel for what the game wants from you. It looks good and it sounds great, with the cosmic setting bringing some unexpected humour from the astronaut spectators and the pumpy music fitting the overall future retro aesthetic. Multiplayer is good fun too, even more so than the single player, given that there's a lot more variety in the gameplay, though it does still suffer from the core annoyances of the single player modes. They're a little easier to swallow when you know you're not the only one suffering. The multiplayer suite offers several game modes, each taking a different spin on the regular gameplay. One is basically the regular game, but you've got someone trying to break your blocks too. Another, called Quick Shot, has you and your opponent trying to hit panels as they change size. The smaller the panel, the bigger the points reward. Again, without being able to deliver the kind of precise shots that I wanted, this mode did not do it for me. The best of the bunch is Body Shot, which basically tasks you with trying to smack multiple balls at the other player in a quasi one-on-one dodgeball type game. This one can get hectic, and if you've got the space and the healthy cartilage in your knees, you'll be ducking and weaving with a silly smile on your face and a ton of sweat dribbling down your cheeks. C-Smash VRS is a decent game that demands you take your time to find its flow. The single player experience lacks depth, and it's overly frustrating with its fail and start again campaign, with the Zen mode being its saving grace. Multiplayer is where the real fun is, and if you can get regular games, it's just about worth overlooking the shortfalls. And that is the end of this review. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you found this video useful in some form. If you did, go on down below, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.